judging by those absolutely devastating opening weekend box office numbers for Furiosa, it seems that Hollywood is finally learning the hard way what happens when you make a Mad Max movie without Mad Max. Hi y'all, SnarkyJay cosplay here. Just this past weekend, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, opened in theaters, and it absolutely dominated the Memorial Day weekend box office, which isn't saying much because it's actually the worst Memorial Day opening of any movie in the past 30 years. Furiosa, a blockbuster tied to a fantastic and very popular franchise, the last movie to earn less was 1994's Casper. That's right, Casper in 1994. Everything else that has released on Memorial Day weekend since has earned more money than Furiosa. And learning about this and seeing a lot of different people talking about it on Twitter, I felt I needed to make a video about this. Just this past weekend, I released a video talking about The Fall Guy and how hard The Fall Guy has flopped at the box office, and wondering if this just means that maybe people aren't as interested in going to the movies anymore. And I certainly think that that is part of what's going on with Furiosa, right? Everything is more expensive. If you're not 100% invested in this property or in this film, you're probably not going to want to fork over all that money for tickets, popcorn, soda, maybe an icy. You're not going to want to pay all of that to go sit in a theater when maybe in the next 3 weeks you're going to be able to stream it for free, or better yet, pirate it. But notice the qualifier I used there. You might not want to fork over all that money for a movie you don't think is worth it. Now, I personally have not seen Furiosa. I was invited to an early screening of it, but I couldn't attend. I did do a promo event for the movie that was a whole lot of fun, and I only talked about the promo event. So I don't know exactly what the movie entails. But what I do know is what they marketed the movie as. The movie is a prequel to Mad Max Fury Road. I do feel to a certain extent that Mad Max Fury Road was just a little bit of a bait and switch, because while Mad Max Fury Road does follow Mad Max, and it features Tom Hardy playing a really great Mad Max, if you do ask me. I still prefer Mel Gibson, but we all know why we don't let him in movies anymore. The real focus of Mad Max Fury Road was Furiosa, portrayed by the ever-delicious Charlize Theron. And Mad Max Fury Road was well-reviewed, made great money, and honestly looked phenomenal. So if you had told me you were going to make a follow-up of Mad Max, well, I would assume, yes, we're going to have a lot of crazy shit in the desert. Yes, we're going to have a bunch of cool cars. Yes, we're going to have borderline BDSM-related leather gear on a bunch of weirdos, and maybe we'll have people inhaling spray paint. But most of all, if you told me you were making another Mad Max movie in the Mad Max saga, the one thing I would be hoping the movie would have would be Mad Max. And that is not in this movie, because it's a prequel focusing on Furiosa. What's the point? You make a Mad Max movie without Mad Max, you're really gonna have to get people interested in this character, and one, I don't think Furiosa had that kind of draw to begin with, but two, Charlize Theron tends to have a little more star power, and while I think Anya Taylor-Joy is fantastic, and it seems like she did a great job with the role, I don't think that she's the kind of name that puts asses in theater seats. The real name that would put asses in theater seats is Mad Max. Who the f*** went to go watch Mad Max Fury Road to watch Furiosa? Nobody. She was a great character, very interesting, cool look, and I think Charlize Theron did a phenomenal job. But again, Mad Max is supposed to be about Mad Max. And that is, I think, the real problem here. Another Mad Max could have been an event movie if the Mad Max saga still featured Mad Max. This wasn't it. It was a prequel. It had a weird title with Mad Max Saga underneath it. So if you didn't read the whole title, you probably thought it had nothing to do with Mad Max. And that alone, I think, does not sell enough tickets. Unlike some other YouTubers and people on Twitter who are entirely entitled to their opinion, I don't think this is an issue of of Hollywood girl bossing or anything like that. I don't think this is a statement on people not wanting to see women in these roles. People years ago were thrilled to see a Wonder Woman movie without the rest of the Justice League, but that's because Wonder Woman is a character with her own standing, her own interest, and her own fan base. She doesn't need Superman and Batman to be relevant. Furiosa needs Mad Max, because Mad Max has been the titular character since like 1979, I think. I would have been thrilled to see Furiosa still have a big role in a movie had it been also alongside Mad Max, who's the main character of the franchise and the one that I think is ultimately the coolest. I don't care enough about Furiosa without Mad Max to go watch a movie that she's carrying. So without Mad Max, you just don't have everybody else. And without Mad Max, you don't have the ticket sales. It's that simple. It's not a gender thing. It just happens to be that the main character, who is a guy, is not in this at all, and there's no reason to go watch it without him. That's all from me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more SnarkyJay, catch me on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST. You can also check out my Instagram, and if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoot sets and content. I will add links to all of those in the description below, and let me know your thoughts on Furiosa's big fall in the comments below.